Okay, for business travelers, and airlines, for example, there's an intrinsic relationship there in terms of letting business travelers understand when rates are dropping. When I have a special promotion or a special discount going on. But for a hotel owner, it may really have to do with the local community, with specific events that are happening. You may have to think about it from the perspective that you're creating a mailing list for your most loyal customers so that they're able to stay in touch with you. And so it's fundamentally a little bit of a different relationship in that you really have to think about what is the utility that you're providing to the people that are following you. What is the information that is being exchanged that is going to be incredibly effective for them to have. And if you are unable to make the investment in the information creation, then do not do Twitter. Because what will happen is that you'll disappoint a lot of people who are following you.
Thank you. And that I think is of interest of many of the hoteliers. So in case a hotelier receives bad, negative reviews, what would you suggest the hotel to do in that case?
Well, the negative review, scenario is obviously that everybody in this room has to deal with at some point. So the one thing I have to say about negative reviews is that negative reviews in the social media space actually gives your brand credibility. It shows the fact that your brand is not perfect. Everybody understands that no single brand experience could be perfect. And so having the existence of negative reviews about your brand actually makes the positive reviews more credible because now users understand, okay, it's not you that's writing all these reviews. But the best way to deal with a negative review is really to think about this. Let's say that you have an angry guest that's at the front desk that's really complaining very loudly about a specific thing that happened. What would you do? What would you do to basically appease that guest? Because a negative complaint, a highly negative complaint on the web is the equivalent of a very angry guest in your front lobby complaining about something. Sometimes you can ask to take the issue offline so that you're able to discuss it in private. Other times you may have to address it publicly, but do not shy away from responding to negative reviews, especially if it really impacts kind of what your core brand promise or attributes are. So, for example, if your brand is about excellent service and you have a negative review about how terrible the service is, you must respond to it. The wrong thing to do would be to just ignore it and hope that it'll go away, because it won't. It will be searchable by somebody.
Thank you. And how is your project, your idea, different from a customer satisfaction survey?
We get that question a lot. How is what we're doing different from a guest satisfaction survey? There's systems out there whereby guests upon checkout will receive an email from a third-party survey, and the guest has to fill out the survey to let the hotel know how satisfied they were with various aspects of their hotel experience. That is very, very important from a hotel operation perspective, in that it gives you almost like a daily view into what you're doing well and what you're not doing well. But the problem with the guest feedback survey forms are that you only get the answers to the questions that you ask. So the questions that you don't ask, you never really get a sense for how people are feeling. Social media enables people to talk about whatever it is that they want to talk about. So they may talk about things that are on your guest satisfaction survey, or they may not. But the important thing for you to understand is that they are talking about it using their words, and they're prioritizing what they want to talk about, which in many ways becomes a living focus group for you in terms of how your brand is doing and what does that mean. And then the other thing also with respect to guest satisfaction survey is that for the most part, hotel owners keep that information private. So you're the only people that see that information. Social media, on the other hand, is out in the public. So everybody else that's doing research on your brand will actually read what that social media says about your brand. So not only is it a reflection of your past performance, it's also a leading indicator of how much these reviews will influence your future potential revenue. And this is the reason why you need to pay attention to social media.
So big thanks to Maurice Sim for sharing with us this innovative project. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thanks.
Very nice. Bene, 2 minuti soltanto.